hello everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to the program. Welcome to my humble abode. Well, you're not actually in my house. You shouldn't be. This is not my house. This is a studio. And you shouldn't be here because if you were, you'd be trespassing. And then I'd have to spank you. But don't worry, you're not. It's just a figure of speech. You're not actually physically here. You're actually at your home, and you got your access to on the internet. Good for you. And now you're hearing this, and you're hearing me, and I am Gravitalk, and I am back for another week of well, not week, but episode of reviewing one of the latest blockbusters to be hastily splattered across the Silver Spring, and this time the movie in question is the Project Almanac. That's gonna be the movie I'm gonna talk about today, and this will be the first official movie for me to review of 2015. Oh, but Graviton, what about Into the Woods? You reviewed that this year? Well, here's the thing. That came out the previous year. It's just that I couldn't get around to seeing it until 2015. But so technically, this is the first movie of 2015 that I am going to review for you guys, and this is a very special episode because usually I invite a guest who is another fellow supervillain of from this whole pantheon of villains I have access to, but before I could choose which one to join me on this journey of reviewing a movie. Someone stepped up and offered to review this movie with me, which has rarely happened before. Oh my gosh, I can't believe someone's actually willing to do a review with me. Usually I have to do it as a favor, or I have to do some inappropriate, regrettable things in order for them to come on the show. But this guy decided to step up. And, of course, who would do that? Who would be willing to do a review with me without being forced? I'll tell you who. Me! Yes! I am going to review this film with myself. Now, you'll be probably wondering how the fuck is that possible, Graviton? Well, it's because of the very thing that this movie is about. Yes, this movie is about time travel. And guess what? The person who I'm going to be reviewing this movie with is me from the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you future Graviton. Thank you, past Graviton. It's a pleasure to be here. Now, future Graviton, why did you decide to travel back in time and decided to help me out with this? Well, past Graviton. Wait a minute. You're past Graviton, right? Yes, I'm past Graviton. You're future Graviton. Okay. So anyway, past Graviton. Yes, I decided to go back in time to help you out with this review because the future Graviton, when I reviewed this review in the past, told me to do so at the very end. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, that's very confusing, but okay, thanks, future Graviton. You're welcome, past Graviton, and I'm pretty sure that this will not be confusing for our viewers. Isn't that right, past Graviton? You got it, future Graviton. Okay, so, are you ready, future Graviton, to review this movie with me? Ready when you are, future Graviton. No, wait, I thought you were future Graviton. Sorry, I meant past Graviton. Okay, this is probably very confusing, but not as confusing as this movie. So let us begin now by giving our overall thoughts. So tell me, future Graviton, what do you think of this movie? Well, my thoughts on the movie Past Graviton were probably different than yours because you just saw the movie, and I, on the other hand, had time to process it. Since because due to the laws of physics, I saw it a lot earlier than you because I am from the future and you are in the past, and or my past anyway. This is the present to you, but so after thinking it through, I thought that the first part of this movie, the first half, was really good. Really nice twist on the old time travel type story. You know, a new twist, if you will. But then the second half is where all the cliches come seeping through and flood into place and making things all icky and moldy and that's where it falls apart, the second half. Okay, future Graviton, I'll take your word for it. Well, I, on the other hand, I was about to say that I actually thought that this movie was really unique and enjoyable through and through. But now that you brought up that it kind of falls apart in the in the second half, that kind of changes things up a bit for me. Really? That's not how I felt before. Oh no, am I changing the past? Oh no, I gotta make sure that the way this review turns out is the way it turned out when I was in your place. Oh, you're giving me a lot of pressure there, future Graviton. I'll do my best. So, let's go on to break the movie apart by recapping it. You're up for the challenge, future Graviton? Well, of course I am. After all, I'm the one who proposed to do it when I was in your place, past Graviton. Okay, great, future Graviton. So, the movie begins with a shitload of logos, and I'm very disappointed to tell people that the MTV logo is no longer an astronaut. Instead, it's a bunch of eyeballs. What the fuck? It's just that whenever I think of MTV, I think of the iconic astronaut. You know, the astronaut, the MTV astronaut. And now it's a bunch of eyes. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? Where's my astronaut? Why was he replaced with a bunch of eyeballs? Ugh, this bullshit. Bring the astronaut back. He's probably out of a job now and homeless and has to do blowjobs for money. Maybe we should keep going past Graviton. You got it, future Graviton. So anyway, so now we get to the actual movie and past the logos. And of course, it is revealed to us that, at first it's like, oh hey, they're beginning it with like this little home movie that they're making. Oh wait a minute, this home movie is that home movie. Wait, you past Graviton, did you just say this home movie is a home movie? No, I said this whole movie is a home movie. Oh, that's what you said. Yes. So, yes, so what I'm saying by that is that the whole entire movie is a found footage film where it gives off the illusion that this is all from just one camera. This is all from the perspective of a video camera. Yes, it's a very interesting type of concept back in 1999, but now it's overdone with your Cloverfields and your Chronicles and your paranormal activities and your quarantines and your Earth to Echoes and your blah 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 blah. I see you don't like that genre, future Graviton. Well, the thing, past Graviton, is that We've already seen this done to death and done several different ways. Like a Chronicle did it in a very unique way, where it was multiple, all different kinds of cameras as possible, where you switch from scene to scene just by switching from camera to camera. And with this film, however, it's like, we're going through the motions again, going through the cliche of doing this. Oh, it feels like we're going through the motions, having to sit through this found footage type thing again. Well, at first they give a reason. Well, Future Graviton, they give a reason for the camera being on in this case, because you see, it's a bunch of teenagers, a bunch of high school teenagers who are trying to get one of the guys in their pussy named David Raskin. So anyway, David Raskin is trying to get to MIT, and I'm like, hey, if you want to get into a mitt, all you have to do is get one big enough, and then get inside of the mitt, and now you can touch hot pots. I don't think that's the mitt he's talking about. It's not mitt as in mitten, it's mitt as in MIT, that fancy technological school. Ooh, that. Oh man, I had another amazing Spider-Man 2 moment. It's a good thing nobody still caught me on that. Well, lucky for you, you have very few people watching you, which means very few people to catch all of your bullshit and mistakes. Oh, really, Future Graviton? How many subscribers do I have in the future? The exact same amount you have right now. Oh, that's depressing. So anyway, so yes, the reason why the camera's on is because they're sending MIT a video. It's to persuade them into giving him a grant, and it's like a submission video to show that that he should be eligible for MIT. And he does that by showing off his awesome little aeroplane, or not an aeroplane, looks more like a helicarrier, a little toy helicarrier, and he can control it with these sensor things on the tip of his hands, and it's like, oh cool, is that ever gonna come into play in the movie? Nope, no it doesn't. Okay. So anyway, so MIT is luckily, even though this whole movie has to be from the point of a video camera, we don't have to worry. Apparently, it's pre-edited, which means we cut right to when he gets his acceptance letter. Yeah, except why is his little sister, who looks really hot until you realize, oh god, she's underage. Anyway, however, you kind of have to question, why the fuck does she keep filming? I mean, that guy in Chronicle kept filming. Oh, you mean Green Goblin? Yeah, Green Goblin Jr. Green Goblin Jr. Kept filming in Chronicle because that was a character trait that he wanted to film everything to deal with his problems. But what's this chick's excuse? Why the fuck is she doing it? I mean, I know we get a explanation later as to why everything is getting filmed, but not right now. Well, Future Graviton, like I said, you gotta kind of accept like all of the, this type of storytelling, found footage films are not without its tired tropes of like, oh, why do they have the camera on at this point? It makes no sense. Ugh. But anyway, so they get their acceptance letter, and he's been accepted into MIT. Yay! Except he has to pay a whole fuckload of money still. Ooh. Yeah, that made me groan too, but he's like, oh great, now we have to deal with those types of stories. Oh, I gotta get a bunch of money for this bullshit thing. Hey, MIT is not bullshit. It's a very important type of glove you need for handling hot things. So anyway, So, this means that the mother has to, foreclose the house so she can afford to, pay for his college tuition, not intuition, tuition, for MIT. And he's very depressed. And on top of that, David, I know you're going through some shit right now. And, you're very guilty because your mother is, forking over a whole bunch of money because she's a single parent. She has to deal with all this shit. And I know you're feeling very guilty, but you got a bunch of great friends, bunch of great, happy, fun friends. The type of friends high school kids usually have in a high school movie. You got your obligatory fat guy and your obligatory Asian guy. No black guy, but that's okay because you got an Asian guy, and that's kind of interchangeable. But you also got your sister, who apparently is a part of this posse, which is weird because usually the sister's like, ew, gross crudies. But thank you for being being progressive on that. And on top of that, he's also very awkward with the ladies. He switched to backpacks with this chick, and he has trouble talking to her. And I'm like, okay, look, David, you got already all this other shit to deal with. Why do you have to try to make this more complicated by being like, oh, if only I could talk to the cool chick. What the fuck's her name? Jessie. Hopefully Jesse is not too busy babysitting a bunch of rich kids. That was a reference to something that Spider-Man crossed over that he should not have crossed over, and I still have not forgiven him for that. Even though I shouldn't anyway, because I'm a supervillain. I'm getting off topic. Yes, you are past Graviton. Good God, future Graviton. What happened to me in the future to make me like this? You cannot know past Graviton. It is not your place. It will rip apart the fabric of time if I tell you. Okay. So anyway, so he's going through his attic looking for stuff. I forget why, but he looks for like stuff to do, like more scholarship things, to get more scholarships, to pay for this big ass fuckload of money for this MIT. And he stumbled, or his sister stumbles upon an old camera. And in this camera, you see his old in this camera, you see this old camera way back from an ancient time called the early 2000s. Although it's not really way that back for me because I'm in my 50s. Me anyway, not the guy who's voicing me. He's actually 22. Why am I saying that? So anyway, so he, after he looks at it, he finds out that he sees. So anyway, this video camera shows old ass footage of his birthday back when he was a little child. But then he sees himself in the video. He sees his present self in this video from 10 years ago. Yeah, it's not really that surprising for us since we were like, hey, one ticket for that time travel movie. Yeah, but for them it's surprising, although not probably surprising for them either, because they're kind of like, whoa, what the, whoa. Not like, oh god, oh my god, I gotta shoot myself, I can't handle this information. Although maybe I'm exaggerating. So anyway, he and his compadres are trying to figure out what the fuck is that. And it's very interesting how they're how they are how they going at this. They're trying to solve that mystery, Scooby Doo style by going to the place where going to the to the exact location. They're trying to figure out what the fuck his prison self was doing in that past video by seeing that he was headed towards the basement. So they go into the basement and they look around and by the way, David's dad is dead. By the way, apparently he died. The last time David ever saw him was at that birthday party. Great timing, Dad. You jerk. Why'd you have to die on your kid's birthday? Well past Graviton. I don't think he had any control over that. You shut up, future Graviton. So anyway, so anyway, they go to the basement, and it looks like Tony Stark's basement. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? How come you didn't go searching around here earlier, David? I mean, come on. It's like, look at all this stuff. Like, wouldn't this have interested you at all before? I mean, I know you're like, oh, I can't be down here, but I'm like, hey, bud, your dad has been dead for a decade. You could have been searching around this, and not only would you have found that time machine that we know you're going to discover, but you would have discovered a whole bunch of different things too, like maybe a teleportation ray and a shrink ray and a robot and a machine that turns men into women and women into burritos and a whole bunch of things. And so anyway, so he finds this little compartment on the floor of this attic that holds a lunchbox. But instead of containing a sandwich and a banana and some jelly, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, instead, what's inside of this lunchbox is blueprints for a time machine. And apparently these nerds guys are apparently impossibly smart enough to figure this shit out. Yeah, past Graviton, I really don't understand that. Like how the hell are they smart enough to figure all this shit out? Like it's kind of going with that cliche that the nerds in the movie are always impossibly super duper smart and can like invent a whole bunch of technology. Well, to be fair, they don't invent the time machine. They just find blueprints and are able to make a time machine out of it. And also, to be fair, they don't do it all willy-nilly. No. They have to go through a lot of bullshit into order to finally make it. They have to steal stuff from the school to make an Argo reference, and they have to get a whole bunch of bullshit, a whole bunch of batteries from the school, and a whole bunch of other things, and they have to get a whole bunch of batteries. I already said that. And they have to do experiments, kudos for at least taking the realism way and have to show that when they have to show hey look people, doing experiments isn't all about getting the results right away. You have to do it again and again and again, and you have to change the variables up each time, and they do it several times. They make things float and they make things twirl and they turn into these weird light things that you see when you're on ecstasy and a whole bunch of things. And so anyway, what finally gets them to work the time machine is when David's potential love interest Jesse arrives next door for this big old party that's happening next door, but David and his compadres try to wire jumper cables for her car because apparently it's a Prius, and apparently Priuses are freaking magic and can power time machines, and it works. It works, and instead of the first time traveler being a dog named after Einstein. The first ever time traveler is actually a car with a Barbie doll in it. You go, Barbie! I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. I just time traveled. I really did that. And anyway, it's a success. And but this causes Jessie to know. So now she forces herself into this time travel five. The 5 times. Times 5 is what I'm going to call this group. Oh God, what's wrong, future Graviton? Well, past Graviton. It's just that I never said that when I was in your place. Oh, am I changing the fabric of time? Future Graviton? Well, I don't know. Let's just keep on going. Okay, past Gravity. Future Graviton. Sorry, I'm beginning to forget who the hell you are. Jesse proposes that why don't we time travel ourselves? Why don't we time travel instead of just Barbie? Fuck Barbie. She's already done a bunch of things. She's like a doctor and a nurse and a horse rider and a whole bunch of different things. And a black woman for Oreos. Well, why can't we time travel? And David is like, okay, well, here's the thing. It's very likely that we might die. So let's all 5 of us time travel. Woo! So anyway, they go over, they go over all the precautions they need to take, like closing their eyes and keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. And it's very emotional because it's like, oh man, they don't know if they could deliver that. So anyway, so they activate the time machine and put it in a bag because it's like, it's like bag sized, and it works. They go back a whole day. They did it. They're the first ever time travelers. Take that, Barbie, you little bitch. Ken deserves better. He deserves one of those brat jaws. So anyway, that was really weird. But anyway, so they decide to so anyway, the fat chubby kid whose name is is it Quinn or is it Adam? I think it's Quinn because he's the white one, and Goldberg sounds like a Jewish name, and I don't think an Asian guy would have a Jewish name. So anyway, Quinn. Wait, is it Quinn? This is gonna bother me like something. Come on. Okay, good. It is Quinn. Okay. So anyway, Quinn decides to do a prank on himself by drawing a smiley face on his neck so that it would magically, no, not magically, scientifically appear on his neck, and it works. But then when his past self wakes up and sees his future self, the two begin to disappear. Oh no! Oh God! Oh, so anyway, they have to separate the two Quins from each other, and they run away. Run away! Run away! Run away! So anyway, we discover by this that according to this movie's logic, if the past self meets the future self of the same person, the two might disappear. You could think that's bullshit, huh, future Graviton? Because I've met you, and nothing bad is happening. Yeah, nothing bad is happening. You're damn right about that. Future Graviton, I don't remember you, looking that buff. Ooh, you sure? I think I do. Future Graviton, what if I'm changing things? What if I'm changing things without knowing it? And, I'm causing the future to have a different outcome than it's supposed to. Well, if that's true, past Graviton, I don't mind. I don't mind being all buff now for the ladies. Okay. So, moving on. So when they travel back to the present, they take a dog with them, and it's like, oh great, a doggy sidekick. We never see the dog again. Well, maybe they brought the back dog for a reward, since apparently they changed the present by making it so that they removed the dog and put them into, made the dog skip, time, so that he seems like he disappeared, even though what he did was he just jumped a day. Um, maybe they just got the reward for that. Well, screw that. That's not how they make money when they realize that they have a working time machine. They make a whole. The way they make money, of course, is winning the lottery. Yes, they take old lottery numbers and go back in time and enter them, and they win the freaking lottery. And so they go to a bank to validate it, and it's legitimate. But they didn't enter all of the numbers. So they time travel again, and they cut to when they did that for comedic effect, of course. So now they're all rich as fuck now, and the only problem with this is not for them, because they're all set for life and whatnot. David gets to pay for his MIT and whatnot, and if he finally gets to be in the oven mitt, and no more problems. Everyone's happy and got their shitloads of money and whatnot. But the thing is, the problem is for us, because now we have to deal with them doing stupid stuff with their money. Oh yay, we're rich as fuck. Let's buy a bunch of food trucks and give food to people, and let's get a Maserati, and let's just do a whole bunch of things that make people would wonder, how do they still have money after this, even if they did win the lottery. Yeah, that's the part that I didn't like past Graviton. I'm so happy that I'm big and buff now. Okay, future Graviton. I'm happy for you, being all physically in shape now, but I'm gonna keep doing this, review. Hey, do you think you could make this even more different than how you were going to? Maybe I could get even more buff. I don't know about that, future Graviton. But anyway, so yes, all of their problems have been solved, so that kind of gives you the wonderment of, so why the fuck is the movie still going? Their problems are solved, so what the hell? Well, apparently, the dealio is that David still has relationship problems. He still needs to talk to Jesse, and he doesn't know how the hell to do that. And it's not enough that they're all rich as hell now. Also, they have to have fun now. So in the middle of class, in the middle of high school class, boring high schooliness, they each they during right in the middle of a bathroom break, they all go back in time to LOL Palooza, 3 months prior, and what that is, it's a big ass festival with Imagine Dragons, and it's like, oh boy, they paid for Imagine Dragons, and for those of you not knowing what Imagine Dragons are, they're not imaginary dragons. They are a band, and it's a real band. And apparently that's why this movie was postponed a year, so they could add a whole entire sequence, a whole big ass Lollapalooza commercial. Go to Lollapalooza and tell them that Project Almanac sent you. So anyway, so what follows is a really long sequence of them having fun at Lollapalooza. Way longer than it needed to be, but it's probably a commercial, so complete with all of them like having fun and getting up on stage and showing themselves, and of course the thing is, wait a minute, wait just a freaking minute. Um, if they expose themselves to the public, how the hell do the past set? How the hell does the past version of themselves not know about this? What the fuck? Oh my gosh, this is a really big gaping plot hole. I just noticed. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Um, I don't remember catching that plot hole earlier. Future Graviton, you don't seem to be big and buff anymore. Oh, you're right. I'm morbidly obese now. Oh God, what the hell happened? Oh no! Keep doing the review differently. So the events can change, and I don't have to be morbidly obese anymore. Do you think you could change me back to being buff? I don't know, Future Graviton. I'm getting kind of scared now. So anyway, so the whole point of all of this advertising for Lollapalooza was to get Jesse and David finally together, so they can finally express their love to each other, and Jesse sets him up that she's about to fall in love, and all David has to do is take it, and he doesn't, and he fucks it up, and he says the wrong thing to her, and that's it. He's done. He's officially friend zoned, and he's really pissed about it. And so they go back to the present, back, and they've only been gone for 43 seconds. They're like, oh man, that was awesome. We're really tired as fuck now, and we're gonna have to do some explaining to our classes because they think we've only been gone for a few minutes. Even though we're tired as hell, we've been like doing stuff for a whole goddamn day. But everybody's happy about it. Like, yay! Not only are we rich, but we get to do fun stuff. The first world non-problems. But David is not happy because he fucked it up with Jesse. He didn't say the right specific thing, and he decides he's going to use time travel to fix it. So he goes back in time, and he by himself, which is important because he had established earlier that they would only use this time machine if all five of them were together. They were going to do it as a team, a team, as the times five, that name I established and quickly forgot. But nope, he goes solo, and he goes back and he says the right thing, and when he goes back to the present, he finds out that he did it. They're in a relationship now, and she gets to show her naked bits to him, and apparently they get to have sex. Great! If only that were to happen to me. Isn't that right, Future Graviton? Yeah, it's even less likely to happen now because I'm still fat. Keep going. Try to change the future. Okay, Future Graviton, I'm getting kind of concerned now. So anyway, he's all happy now, but this causes horrible repercussioners, because because now a whole bunch of bad things is happening. His teacher got fired. A whole bunch of people died. They lost the game. That's the worst one of all. Even worse than the whole bunch of people dying. No, not really. The people dying is actually the worst one. So anyway, the fat kid and the Asian kid, I should really call them by their names. That is very insensitive for me not to. Quinn and Adam. Adam doesn't sound Asian. So anyway, Quinn and Adam deduce that the things they did in the past, affected things and caused a domino effect that made things differently happen to the point where it caused all of this horrible shit to happen, like the losing of the game and the firing of the teacher, even though they never explained how that happened, and the crashing of the aeroplane, and it's like, oh no, and this causes David to decide, I'm going to fix this myself by going back in time again. And so he thinks that all he has to do is just save that one kid who got his ass hit by a car, and he does that. But it still causes more problems because now the Asian kid is in the hospital. Oh no! Was it Adam? Yes, it was Adam. Oh God, no! So he decides, okay, I'm gonna go back in time again. So he realizes that we realize that every time he goes back in time, it just makes things worse because he thinks he can do it himself. He just thinks that if he does it himself, it'll be great. But what he doesn't realize is that he needs a whole team input on this. He can't just do it himself, and this is awful. I know. At first when I saw the movie, I thought, okay, this was really convoluted. Like, this is really sloppily done. Like, you remember what you said, Future Graviton, that you felt that the second half fell apart. What did you mean exactly by that? Well, brother, I thought that what I meant by that, brother, was that the second half was not that good because they did it really hastily and really fast. You know what I'm saying? What's the matter, brother? Can't you see I'm not fat no more? You made me back to normal. Sure, Future Graviton, sure. Anyway, here's the thing, Future Graviton. The thing with that, though, is that I don't really see it as a problem now because I realize that the whole reason why it's all fast now and whatnot and abrupt is because that's kind of how life is. When you think that you know how to solve a problem, you're like, I'm gonna do it, and you do it hastily without thinking, and that's when the shit hits the fan, because before he had it all planned out, he had it all organized because he had a group with him, emotional support. But now he keeps doing it alone, and that's why he keeps fucking up, and that's why he keeps thinking that he could do it over again. He's not thinking clearly, and he keeps thinking that all he has to do is just change everything without harming the fact that he made it with this girl. But then he accidentally reveals to Jesse that the whole reason why they're together is because he time traveled. And guess what? That technically meant he was tricking her, and this makes her all pissed. Like, how could you do this? And it just so happens that they accidentally time traveled to a point in history where she finds them, and she finds herself, and you know what that means. What does it mean, brother? Well, Future Graviton, it means that the two Jessies disappear. Oh no, she's been wiped out of existence. Yeah, brother, and this is a problem I had because this white boy, he doesn't faze him too much. Well, I have an explanation for that, future Graviton. I think it's because he still is under the impression that he can still fix everything, and he's not thinking clearly. Um, I know that you think that this is a problem, but me, on the other hand, I'm beginning to figure out, I'm beginning to think about it differently than you. And this is probably why it's changing the future for you, future Graviton, because what I do affects you because you're from the future, and whatever I do could cause whole different variables of outcomes. Isn't that right, future Graviton? That's right, past Graviton. Although I don't really notice the changes anymore. Do you? Um, I kind of know a big change right now. Oh, really? Well, can you tell me? Also, how come I feel like a load has been lifted off of my crotch, but a bigger load has been gained on my chest? I'll tell you later. So anyway, moving on. He goes back to the present where he thinks he can figure it out, but Quinn gives him a recap on what the current timeline is like so far. Okay, so the Asian guy is good. He's safe. He's no longer in the hospital, but Jesse is still wiped out of the timeline. So he reveals to Quinn, David reveals to Quinn that, okay, I've been fucking up. I've been going back in time and I kept trying to control Z this whole thing. I've been trying to edit, undo everything. And I keep fucking up, and Quinn is like you're not gonna go back in time to stop all of this from happening, are you? Because we're cool now. We're accepted by people. The time travel is what made us great, even though we probably should have done that without time travel just by being better people without it. But who cares? You can't take that time travel away, even though the police are after you because of the disappearance of Jesse. And so the police are now after David, even though they should have be less forceful about it. But then again, David is running away from them, and David has to get more power for the time machine with the batteries from the high school. So he goes there. He runs real fast, and of course, out of all the times for him to run out of battery power for his time machine, it would have to be right now when the police get involved. So anyway, he makes it there, and he activates the time trap, the time machine, and goes all the way back, the furthest he has ever gone, all the way back to the early 2000s. 2004, and the way we know this is because they show computers, and the computers are all big and puffy, like the way they were at the end of that Steve Jobs movie, the one with the one with the 70s show 2.5 Men guy, Ashton Kutcher. So anyway, that was a weird thing I did. So anyway, so yes, he stumbles through, and he's like, oh man, this is weird being back in 2004, even though this kind of still looks like the present, except the computers are bigger. Now that I think of it, 2004. I think the only thing difference was just the computers, and and the cell phones were flippy flips back then. So anyway, he goes to his birthday party, and and it's really easy to do that because apparently his parents were neglectful as shit about security, and he fulfills that prophecy of him appearing in his birthday video, and and then he goes into the basement where he sees his father. And at first his father's like, "Who the fuck are you?" But then his father's like, "Hey, are you my son from the future?" Man, it was really convenient for me to figure that out right away. So anyway, uh, somehow, David is able to convey to his father that, okay, look, I figured out your time travel, my Bob, and it really fucked me over. So now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna destroy it, and thus killing myself somehow. Um, I could warn you about your death, but I can't because all of this going back and changing things, it really fucked up my life. So I'm not gonna do it. You keep doing that thing you were gonna do and kill yourself. Man, that sounds like a really bad idea. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe there are problems. But anyway, isn't that right, Future Graviton? How come you didn't tell me earlier that I'm a woman? I mean, I just figured that out now, but I'm pretty sure you figured out earlier. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, so David's father goes on and accepts his fate, even though I don't think he found out the fate because David didn't tell him for whatever reason, and so David destroys the time machine, and thus erasing him from that timeline somehow. It doesn't keep him there, or whatever reason, and so the camera that he brought with him though stays there, and then we cut a decade later where it's deja vu all over again. He's looking through his attic because he wasn't accepted into the oven mitt, and his little sister finds two cameras, not one, two cameras. And he finds out through them all of that time travel stuff, and so we repeat that thing where he goes up to Jesse, and he tells Jesse, I think we're about to change the world, and that's it. That's the movie over. Whoa. Oh man. So, how do you interpret that, Future Graviton? Well, I interpreted it that they were just gonna freaking start the whole thing all over again, and they were doomed in a forever loop, like that time traveling guy in that two-parter episode of Justice League Unlimited. Well, Future Graviton. The thing that I think took from it is that that video camera had everything. It had every single detail, all of the good stuff and all of the bad stuff, which means that they won't fuck it up this time. So I actually think it's a very hopeful type of ending, because it's hopeful for the future. It's hopeful. You see, it's actually a good thing that they had the camera on the whole time. I mean, sure, they probably shouldn't have, but as we said before, there is a reason why they had that camera on the whole time. To record, all of the experimentation of the, to record everything about this time machine, for research and reference later, and it wound up being a good thing because because this new timeline, in this new timeline that has been created, these guys see all of that, and that means that they won't make the same mistakes before. Probably will still make the time machine, but this time be more responsible. So I actually think this is an uplifting ending, more uplifting than the ending you thought, past Graviton. And I must thank you, past Graviton, because you made me realize how differently I think of this movie now than if you hadn't have come back. And hopefully this means that I have changed the future for the better. Future Graviton? Future Graviton? Oh God, now he's dead. Oh dear God, did I change the future for the worst? Oh man. Oh God, now he can't break the film. Okay, I'll do it for you. Oh God, I'm kind of scared now. I changed the future to where I die. Oh boy. Okay. Maybe if I rate the film, it'll change the future, and he'll change back to being alive. So would I rather the folks at home watch this movie, or have to recite the periodic table of elements to a old man over and over again through the power of time travel? I would rather watch this movie. I would rather you guys watch the movie, because I'm sure it's cliched towards the end with all of the time travel cliches of, I gotta go back in time, I gotta go back in time again, I gotta go back in time because they keep changing things. But it's still presented in a new, unique way, a modern way, because, what made Back to the Future great was because it was a real person of that time period, the 1980s, reacting to time travel. And that's what's going on here. It's these real kids, acting like real kids, making making pop culture references like one does. Back to the Future is riddled with that too. But it's about real kids, how they really would respond to the idea of time travel, and it's shown in a new way. And that's what I'm fine with. And there are still new things being brought up here to add to the time travel mythos of how time travel would theoretically work. And I appreciate that. So yes, I would watch that movie again. And so hopefully by concluding the review this way, I have changed the future for the better. Wouldn't you say, Future Graviton? And he disappeared. Ooh, okay. I guess I'm just gonna have to live the rest of my life under constant protection, to make sure I don't end up like however the hell he ended up. Okay, see you guys next time, where I reviewed that movie that we saw a trailer for on my pilot episode, and that movie didn't come out until now, and I've already been doing this for a whole goddamn year, so I look forward to that, and I'll see you guys next time. I guess I'm just gonna have to live in a bunker somewhere. Man, this is really scary. I'm gonna have to live my whole life in fear that I don't end like him. Wait a minute. How far in the future did he come from anyway? Well, anyway, I'm gonna go make that bunker now. It's gonna take forever. Wait a minute. I have gravity powers! Yay! I can just use my gravity powers to make all of the building equipment, fall into place. Gravity is awesome.